Well, as you can have guessed from the first video, the rules didn't give me a great feel for where the game's going to go, or even how these are going to flow. So let's put something up and start making some mistakes. It's the blue player's turn. He's got the overlord shit. Whatever disadvantage that is. He's going to put the granary up and open bidding at 4. Now the granary is probably the fort, which has, if somebody has a high card, a 5, they could buy, and that gets 3 people. Prospector's pretty cheap. Glass making looks like it just produces victory points and production straight up. Getting some pure production though probably isn't too bad. And what else do we have here? The indentured worker, which gives you a labor. I thought the granary might be the best thing there. Not sure everybody agrees. Purple's going to go to 5 on that. White will go to 6. Or red will go to 6. Red will get it at 6. He's got a 6-point card. So that's his. He gets a victory point for granary. And I believe his card flips. I think that's what this little symbol means here. He also gets 2 new little houses. And now blue gets to continue by putting something else up for auction. I think he's going to go for the indentured worker, and he'll put that up for 3. And I'm going to just roll around and see what happens on the auction, and I'll come back. So all the cards went pretty high. The only thing that's left is the prospector. But what fell out, basically blue couldn't win any auctions that he was initiating. That may be because of the way I do my bidding, whatever. But what did we see? We saw the granary fall to red. We saw the indentured worker, which looked kind of valuable. Is a skilled laborer. That fell to yellow, but he doesn't have enough money to move him over into a job, which may be a mistake. It may have been better to promote someone and move them. I'm not sure about these things yet. This is first playing. The glassmaker went over to purple, and that cost him his wad, whatever that was, 7 or something. But that gives him an extra production point and an extra victory point. So it seemed like a really cool card. Blue finally broke down and just bid 7 on the fort, and nobody could outbid him. Got a victory point off that, and a bunch of unemployed people and unemployable people. He's out of money too. Cards seem valuable though. Maybe I'm mistaken. Alright. What else can he do on his turn? Well, train employer shift workers. He doesn't have the cash to do it. Buy tools, adjust treasury. He doesn't have anything left to do, so he's going to pass, and we'll put it over to purple. Now one thing, the game probably travels clockwise, but I always do things counterclockwise. Just something to remember. It's a quirk. When I'm playing solitaire, this is what happens. I'm not sure why. On red's turn, he put up the prospector for bid and put $2 into it. Green said, hey, that looks like kind of cool card. Played for 5. Or played bid for 3. He played a 5 card, so he got a couple bucks back. And looking at the card, it kind of explains what you do. Gives -1 on the smelter card, or it gives, I don't know what it gives, but it gives you one of these chips, and that's going to be a -2 on the smelter, I think. I'm not sure because, oh, no, prospector, -1. There we go. Makes sense with the card. Gave a victory point, which is labeled on the track. And I think this little card symbol, it gives you the mining card. Well, that makes sense. And now for $8, if I had a trained laborer, I could send him over to do mining, which produces more than my other jobs do. That's kind of cool. Okay. Now, I don't have that kind of cash right now, and I can't turn my tools in for it. We're still on Red's turn, though, and Red has a couple of bucks to do stuff with. He could promote a laborer. What's he going to get in cards? That's the question. Does he want to spend? He's going to get, it looks like, 3 chips, which with these 2 produces more than 4, so he can turn 4 in and get a card. He's allowed to hold a card, and he's allowed to hold chips. He's not going to promote his laborer yet. There's no reason to spend the money yet. He's got enough storage for it. So we'll go on to green. And green doesn't have a card either. Doesn't have anything he can do in terms of putting bidding up. All the cards are gone. So, well, he can promote a laborer for 2. And then he can buy him a set of tools to go farming, which gets him a victory point and a production. There's the production. And there's the victory point. And that's a pretty cool location. So I think green's doing pretty well here. Going on to yellow. Yellow has a bonus laborer, but he doesn't have any money to put the guy to a job. So he probably doesn't want to do anything either, because his production also will be 3. He'll get a card that he can store. He's got a problem. He's going to have 3 of these. Or he's going to get 3 additional, which gives him 4. He can't trade 4 in if he has 4. This is an annoying little aspect of the rules, the way I read them, and maybe it's an error, and the errata covers it, or something, but the way it's read, you must have more than 4 of these to trade in, but he only has space to hold 3. So he's going to lose a money, but I don't see anywhere he can use $1. Sucks to be him, I guess. Okay. Now we'll go to the administrative phase, because everybody's done, and we check for victory and designate the overlord. Well, we know who's winning. It is green. He's the one with the extra victory points. So he becomes the new overlord. We add development cards. Well, I believe that's this new pile here. Yeah, this is where I skipped. Add development cards went to production cards. So we're going to draw 5 more of these. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got another granary and then some people. Prospector, like my miner. Tracker, who helps hunting. And the dyer, who helps buy a dye house, which I guess must be very valuable, the cloth making or whatever, because that's some money off on that. Okay. And now we go to determining who gets what in production. Let's see what we got here. Blue is going to get 3 white chips. he can do that. That's his production. It's that simple. Purple. Purple gets a card. He has room to hold the card. He's got 2 dudes. So that's no big deal. Red is going to get 3 pips. He's got more than 4, so he'll turn 4 of them in for a card. Again, he has tons of room. Green? Green gets a card. Straight up. And now yellow, poor yellow, gets 3 pips, but he can't hold all 4, and he can't turn them in for a card because he doesn't have more than 4. So he gets boned. And we're on to the second turn. Pretty easy. I think that gives a better idea of play than my trying to stumble through the rules did. But one thing that we showed with the rules is that it's kind of hard to get this game by reading them. And that's a shame. I like games where you really understand what the game's about by reading the rules. And this isn't terribly intuitive, although I don't think it's too far from the theme. I mean, worker placement is pretty thematic to begin with. So, okay, just to use one of your terms. I'm going to send this one up.